If you follow any real estate investors or real estate agents on Instagram or any type of social media, I'm sure you've probably seen pictures like this that say under contract. But if you've never invested, or if you've never bought a house, or you're new to real estate, you probably have no idea what that means. Today you'll find out. What's going on, man? It's your boy Jay Reed from Jay Reed Realty, and I'm back with another video. If it's your first time here, my name is Jabari Reed. I'm a realtor and investor in the Atlanta area. This channel is all about real estate, credit, and finance. If that's something you're interested in, subscribe, because I'm going to show you how to triple your wealth through real estate this year. Today, we're going to be talking about under contract, what that means, how to write an offer, what is earnest money, all of that good stuff. So first things first, under contract means that the seller and the buyer of a home have came to an agreement. The buyer wrote an offer on a home and the seller accepted it. That means they've agreed to a price, a closing date, valuable consideration, which is called earnest money. We'll talk about that later in the video. And this also means that the seller cannot enter any agreements with any other buyers. That means you have signed and executed a contract, so you guys are in a legally binding agreement. So if you're purchasing a home, this is step one. Step one is to get your property under contract. Now, in order to get under contract, you must first write an offer. So let me tell you exactly what that includes. First of all, I suggest anyone looking to purchase a home, find yourself a really good realtor. I'll link to my video about how to find one, but in the event that you do not have a realtor, writing an offer can be pretty simple if you have a few basic elements. The first thing that you must have is your information as well as all of your contact information so that you can be reached. You must include the property address for the property that you are trying to purchase, the price that you are willing to pay. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be the price that the house is listed for, but this is a price that you are comfortable with paying, and make sure that this is actually a price that you can afford. The fourth element you want to have is your estimated closing date. Now, typically with the home being purchased conventionally, like through bank financing, you need 30 to 45 days in order to get all of the elements ready so that you can close on that property. If you're buying a house with cash, 14 days tops. The next thing that you're going to need is your earnest money deposit. What this does is ensure the seller that you are actually serious about this contract. Because what happens is once you guys reach a binding agreement, they're going to take that home off of the market. And once they do that, they want to be sure that you're serious about purchasing this home. So they ask you to contribute what's called earnest money, which is typically 1 to 3% of the purchase price of the home. And of course, that earnest money does go toward the purchase price, but this is just money in the seller's pocket so that they can be serious about you and they make sure that you're serious about this deal. The next element of your offer is going to be proof of funds or your pre-approval letter. If you don't have a pre-approval letter or don't know how to get one, I'll link to my video right here on how to get pre-qualified for a mortgage. But essentially, when you write an offer, the seller is going to make sure that you can afford this house. Before they just take the house off of the market so that no one else can see it, they need to make sure that you actually have the funds to purchase it. And the final element you need when writing an offer are all of your contingencies and stipulations. So for example, if this house doesn't appraise to the correct amount, then you get to withdraw from the offer. Or if this house fails inspection, if it has bad plumbing or bad pipes or bad electrical, essentially what these stipulations would say is that unless the seller can get these items fixed, you are able to walk away from the contract or negotiate a new price. So now that you understand how to write an offer, this is actually what you need in order to get your property under contract. Now, once you get this property under contract, there are a few things that need to be done fairly quickly. In every real estate contract, there's a set period of time for the buyer to ensure that they can get financing, get inspections, get appraisals. This is called the due diligence period. And what this allows you to do is walk away from the contract anytime within this specified period without losing any of your earnest money. So typically this due diligence period is from 3 to maybe 17 days, but in most cases it's anywhere from 7 to 14 days. Now, during this due diligence period, it's very important that you go ahead and you make moves on this property immediately, such as securing your financing if you haven't already, getting your appraisal, getting your inspections. And what this period allows you to do is walk away from the contract if you find anything negative or anything that you decide really just isn't right for you. So for example, if a home is being listed and you offer to buy it for $300,000, but it only appraises for $240,000, that means now there's an issue. So during this due diligence period, you can either renegotiate or you can walk away from the contract and you can get all of your earnest money back. However, if you have a 10-day due diligence period and you find something on day 11 that you don't like and you would like to walk away from the contract, you are at risk of losing your earnest money. That's why it's very important that you have a good realtor who can help you make these connections for inspectors, appraisers, loan originators, so that you do not lose out on any of your earnest money. Once you get this property under contract, that doesn't necessarily mean you will close on it. Personally, in my experience, I close on about 90% of properties that do go under contract. However, there are reasons that a deal can fall through. The buyer financing may fall through, which means that the bank decides that they don't want to finance this property for you anymore for whatever reason. The property may not appraise. So like I said, if you have a property listed for $300K, but it appraises for $240K, you have the right to walk away from that property. The property may fail inspections. If the property is supposed to have good electrical and good plumbing and a good foundation, if you find anything mentioned above that are not in great condition, then you have the ability to walk away from that contract and not lose anything, as long as it's done within the due diligence period. However, if you decide to walk away from that property after the due diligence period, you are at risk of losing your earnest money. That's why I always encourage new buyers and even experienced buyers and investors to get with the good realtor. This usually will not cost you anything out of pocket. That person is going to stay on top of you when it comes to dates and deadlines. They won't allow you to go past your deadline because they know that's going to mess up the deal. I hope this video really informed you guys about what due diligence is, what earnest money is, how to write an offer, and essentially what does under contract mean. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up down below. If you loved it, share it with someone who you think may need this information. We're about to triple your wealth this year. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace.